Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show. Today, I'm going to tell you why inbound marketing is so damn amazing. Today, I've got your 10-point checklist for digital marketing. Today, we're going to talk about how to make your email marketing rock more than Taylor Swift. Yeah, you heard me right. Today, I'm going to share with you why I don't make content the way I used to. Market your business more from the same content. Once it's time to expand your content, you'll want more out of it from the time you spend. That's a big deal for somebody as busy as you. Obviously, the first step is to learn to create content the best way that you can. Yes, this does involve investing some real time. Neil Patel's got some great tips to help keep the time down, but that's still a good 2 hours that you got to dedicate to making content. Clearly, you want to get as much from that as you can. Thankfully, micro content is a great, quick way to do that. You can learn to take this long form content that you're going to start producing and break it down into smaller chunks for social media. In most cases, each piece of micro content will take just minutes to make. Using the correct software, you can pre-schedule all your social content for the day, week, or month. That means you can spend fewer overall days with your content occupying space in your mind. Here's the gist of what you need to do. Examine your long form content for standalone knowledge. Compile a list of quotes, facts, and small sections of content. Select your content format, pick what's most appropriate for your content channel. Create a stunning image or interesting video to match the content. Schedule it to post on social media with a link back to the main content. This process of breaking down marketing content is absolutely great for maximizing the work you put in. The main thing is figuring out how to stretch that main content effectively so you can get results from it. If you can, your single opportunity content expands into hundreds of opportunities. Build your social presence. There's little online that you can do without a social presence. It sounds dumb, but social media is a sort of verification that your company exists. That's what makes it the second foundational marketing strategy for your small business. Social media is really the gateway to everything else on the internet for most people. It's somewhere you have to be, but consider some real facts. Facebook alone has more users than any given website on the internet, making it the most likely point of contact between you and your audience. To avoid that kind of potential audience is stupid. Twitter, on the other hand, is a great place to connect with people who, have money to spend. 56% of Twitter's user base makes over $50,000 per year. That's pretty impressive for a site that boasts such a young user base, with 36% of them between the ages of 18 and 29. That's not to mention the benefits of every other social network out there. Social media is the main tool that you're going to use to get in touch with your audience. It's also one of the best content distribution channels around. Social media provides a unique opportunity to share content with your audience to get immediate feedback. It's the crossroads of all your internet traffic. Put on an amazing show with every email. When's the last time you went to a rock show that didn't have visuals? Never, right? People don't go to a concert to hear a replay of the album. They want to see the visual spectacular that concerts always promise. Just like a concert, your emails need to look good too. That's why a great template is such a good idea. While each email is different, having a standard template to fit your email brings things together. It allows you to represent your brand consistently in every communication. A great template should focus on visual appeal, but it should also maintain a sense of simplicity. Remember that color and font choices will have an effect on how well your recipients will be able to read your email. If you can afford it, hire a designer to create one for you that matches your brand. If you can't, you can check out what options your email provider has available. Usually, they'll have a customizer you can use. ReallyGoodEmails.com has some great examples of winning emails so you can pull inspiration if you need. Content requires an end goal. Now that you know who your customers are, you got to figure out what you want them to do when they visit your site. Maybe you want to lead them to a purchase now or in the near future. That means at some point, your content is going to have to start directing itself towards talking about making that purchase and that product you want them to purchase. Maybe you just want them to sign up for something. Usually that entails some sort of action that isn't going to directly lead you to income, but it might. For example, if you're building a list of social media followers or trying to get people to sign up for a nonprofit organization, those things don't necessarily create profit. They still create some sort of return for you. A clearly defined goal is going to direct your content. All the copy that you write, all the photos that you use, all of that content path needs to eventually lead to that goal. By knowing that goal, you're going to be able to direct your content so that it creates that path. Calls to action and things like email follow-up ultimately are going to help guide them toward the next step in the process. Now build a lead funnel that parallels that goal. Take your end goal that you have in mind and break it down into smaller parts. From a piece of those smaller parts, you can create a lead magnet that's going to capture the attention of somebody that might actually be interested in making that purchase or signing up for that list. From there, break that lead magnet down. Offer content that somebody who would be interested in that lead magnet would want to read. Ultimately, that's going to help you create a path through your content, through your calls to action, and eventually onto your list that will lead them to that end goal that you have. Answer the questions your audience has. If you want to hack your content marketing, you need to start with value. Whatever topic you're going to write about, it needs to inform your readers and answer the questions that they have on the topic. That means putting in the work to understand what your readers want to know. It also means being totally thorough with your content marketing. That value that matters is in the amount of information as much as it is in the relevance. While you always need to focus on creating content that's entertaining, it should also offer as much information as possible. Don't be afraid of writing too much. The average piece of content that lands in Google's #1 result is about 1,800 words. When people want to learn about something, they want to learn it all. Stick to your topic, but make sure that everything you write gives them the information that they're going to need. Inbound marketing costs less than outbound. As most small business owners do, you're likely looking for ways to maximize your marketing budget. If so, inbound marketing will be of particular interest to you. It's one of the most cost-effective marketing strategies around. You never want to ignore a strategy that brings in more leads and costs less money. And that's exactly what inbound marketing does. It's more effective than outbound marketing by a long shot, bringing in 3 times as many leads on average. And as if that wasn't enough, inbound marketing works out to cost 62% less than outbound per lead on average. So where would you rather spend your money? Gated content and offers. Okay, you've told your site visitors what to do with your CTAs. You've given them a means with your form, but why are they going to become a lead if they aren't ready to buy yet? It's time to up the value you're offering. Exchange quality information that goes beyond what's on your blog for their contact information. As it turns out, 77% of B2B buyers are willing to exchange contact details for white papers or ebooks. It's time for you to create an irresistible gated offer or lead magnet. If you offer more of the valuable information that the people who came to your site for research were looking for, they're going to give you their name and email address. They might even give you a phone number. So here's how it works. Write a compelling and interesting blog article. Somewhere in that article, I've seen them in the middle, at the bottom, to the side, place a call to action that advertises your lead magnet. This could be a button that takes them over to a landing page, or it can be an embedded form directly in the content. Make sure you include a form that they have to fill out to get the lead magnet. Don't ask for more information than what makes sense. Ask for their first name, their last name, their email address, and only any other appropriate information that matches what the lead magnet requires. Their input should trigger an email with a link to that gated content. This ensures they give you a correct email address and that they're looking for your response. Remember, your gated content can be anything at all of value. Ebooks, white papers, webinars, discounts, memberships, product demos, free trials. As long as it's related to both the content that brought them there and the product you offer, you'll gather quality leads from it. Encourage future conversions with targeted email messages. Social media is now the way people engage with the internet as a whole. Marketers everywhere are focused on it. However, email marketing is still creating huge returns for everyone who learns to use it right. One of the big reasons it's getting returns is because of marketing automation tools. The industry-leading software allows you to customize your marketing message to the individual contacts on your list. Social media can't do that. Personalizing your marketing like this can get you 20% more sales. That's a quick shot in the arm for your conversion rate that you don't want to ignore. If you want to make it work, you need data. That's how you get the personalization you're looking for. So there's only 2 pieces of data you really need to make this work. Number 1, what product is your lead interested in? Why that one? And number 2, are they just researching the product or are they ready to buy? The answers to those questions are going to allow you to completely customize your marketing follow-up for those leads. You'll be able to talk to them in the stage that they're in, getting them the information that matches their interests. Guide them systematically to the next step towards buying. Customize your calls to action to match what they want and why they want it. There are tons of clever ways to figure out why they want a certain product or service. For example, you could set up different information about the product that covers multiple whys. Whichever they access will give you a good reflection of why they want it, allowing you to tag their lead profile with it. Saves the trouble of asking for more information on the lead capture, doesn't it? By now, this should be a no-brainer. If your company doesn't have a website, you ought to close your doors now. Sadly, that's the case for far too many businesses in the United States today. Nearly half, in fact. You need to make sure you have one. It's important to make sure your website is fast, informative, and mobile-friendly too. Most people won't deal with a slow website. If your audience can't find the information they want or need, they'll head somewhere else. If they can't access it on their mobile device, you'll lose a ton of clients. Get your company discovered. One of the biggest and most obvious benefits to strong digital marketing is the way it can help people find you. That doesn't mean it's going to be a magic beacon pointing a stream of clients into your front door. It means you're going to be findable by somebody running a search for your company or your service or possibly your industry. Many of the components of digital marketing, blogs, SEO, social media, pay-per-click ads, are all things that will establish your online visibility. That means potential customers from all over the world will be able to find you. Imagine owning a storefront that's just had a freeway built next to it. Drive-by traffic surges, which inevitably leads to more visitors and more sales. Just as a consequence of sheer volume, your business would grow. That's exactly what a great online presence can do for you. Myth number 4. I already have plenty of customers, so I don't need marketing. Awesome, you got a ton of customers. That's always a great position to be in. Customers make your business grow. What happens when that list runs out? It's a completely foolish venture to assume that you'll have customers forever if you're never going to market your company. The more complicated and technical your product or service, the more trouble you may have adding a budget line for high-level marketing strategy. However, the more you decide to invest, the better your returns will be. Investing in top-notch digital marketing strategies that'll allow you to grow is always worth the money, unless you don't want to grow. That's a silly thought, isn't it? Who doesn't want their company to grow? Look, the key to keeping a huge customer list is marketing. That means you always need to put your brand in front of your target audience. You need to repeatedly reinforce that your company is the industry leader that your leads should work with. If you can successfully do that, you'll keep having a long list of customers. Mix popular culture into your information. People love content that includes their favorite celebrities, hobbies, TV shows, movies, comics, music, etc. Pop culture is always something that people pay attention to. When you can find a way to mix it into your information, you got a way to latch onto a trending topic and get seen. Sometimes pop culture walks into your radar, like the famous Arby's tweet conversation with artist Pharrell about the hat. You can't ask for better than that. However, the chances of something like that happening are much slimmer for most industries and businesses than they are for major brands. I mean, how often is a famous musician going to reflect the logo for your local mechanic? But sometimes something does walk into your industry, and you need to pay attention to be the one to take advantage of it. The rest of the time, you're going to have to walk your industry into the pop culture. Find a way to tie into something that's happening in the world with the content you're sharing. Like a post we did around the time Star Wars Episode 8 was released. It was interesting to try and glean marketing tips from the way Daisy Ridley lived her life. But that's just the way you move your industry to meet pop culture. If you can figure out how to do the same, your audience will come running. After all, that's the way popular topics work. If this video provided value to you, do me a favor, hit the like button below, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and comment. Let us know the most valuable piece of content that we shared. We will see you next Friday. Have an awesome week.